Yeah, so I wanted to talk about mixed martial arts, or and what I think about them. Mm, I wanted to talk about all that stuff, UFC and all that. I think it's rather sad that it's taken over a lot of what boxing used to have a lot of that attention. It has stolen a bit too much attention away from boxing lately, in the last years, I think. And there have been some boxers who have went, or quite many, who have gone to UFC or Bellator, whatever. And it's okay when it's about, people like James Toney who are finished in boxing, but there have been some others who have left boxing for MMA who are not at the end of their career. So anyway, my opinion on MMA is I don't see why. I think it's quite the very name UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I think it's a rather pompous name, and because they should have called it the Ultimate Street Fighting Championship instead, because this is not a real fighting sport. This should not be considered a sport because the way they fight there, it's really quite. It's not quite. It's very brutal and without many rules, and you are allowed to hold your opponent, just hammer away at his head, from behind. And that in boxing would of course be it is very illegal, and you can get disqualified if you do that a lot in a fight, in a boxing match. But in MMA or UFC, you can do that as much as you like, really. And it's a really quite dirty way of fighting. Of course, you gotta be very strong and tough to compete in MMA. But what I also don't like is, you are like punching your opponent and kicking him, and suddenly he can just grab your legs and pull you down, and that's it. You lose. I don't think that's really fair because it's sometimes very often it's much easier for a wrestler to win a fight there than for a guy who punches and kicks. So that's also what I don't like. So it's a really dirty sport, and it's not the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I wouldn't call it that because it's quite. I don't know what it is. Quite conceited name, and I know these guys make a lot of money, but nobody has made as much as Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao. Anyway, so still, I think boxing is the king, and you remember that. All you who would rather watch some guy kick and hit the guy in the head for like 20 times, or choking like this. I think this is not good, and the way our society is going, it's obviously affecting our society in a negative way. Where you can enjoy a sport or a fighting game, shall I say, where there are no rules really, where you can do almost whatever you want to beat your opponent. That's not good, because boxing is all about rules. You cannot just kick and punch someone in boxing, punch him under the belt or punch him on the back of the head. You'll get disqualified. That's the way it should be. But this is just, I think it's crap. And it just shows how extreme our society has become. Even more extreme than it was before in the 90s and the first decade of this century. And because when it first was introduced, this UFC wasn't really that much known or popular, and they didn't make so much money. These fighters was more like guys like Ken Shamrock and his brother Frank and Tito Ortiz. They made the sport what it is today. They made it very popular because they were all really good fighters. I mean, especially Frank. I think very skilled and strong. But there are too many like mud fighters who just are there because they are so raw and brutal. I don't like that. So I think I find I I interpret it as it's kind of like a way for white guys to feel tough, because there are most of these fighters are white. And in boxing, I don't know why. I mean, American white guys, of course. Why there aren't so many successful white American boxers? I don't know. Um, but it's I don't know. I don't want to go into that. Anyway, I think I have said enough about why I don't like MMA. It's like Bernard Hopkins said. It's like gay porn. And that's also some a turn off. Naturally, you watch two guys, like hugging each other and their legs around, you know, each other and stuff. It looks quite gay, but it's not really why I dislike it. It's not the main reason, but it can be another reason. And yeah, so I think so many boxers have quit boxing and started that stuff because they make more money. But when they see how tough it is, I think I know some have gone back to boxing, like the, the tragically deceased Omar Henry is one of them. He went over there and like, wait with the money, look what I got. And then when he saw how difficult it was, he went back to boxing. But it was too late, you can say. So it's not, it's definitely not something that should be, condoned or turned into a franchise. Kids, teenagers trying to do that stuff, and they can injure themselves really seriously because they wanna emulate these fighters. They look up to them because they are so tough, just like those wrestlers. And then they injure themselves, and you know they can become crippled. Even can be so bad. So everybody talks about how many boxers die, but it's not really that many per year. Okay, that's also a rather brutal sport, but at least it's a rather beautiful sport to watch. There is nothing beautiful about this. One guy beating the other guy down, kicking him down, and grabbing him, choking him out. That's really very primitive. Like we are supposed to return to what we were like two, three, 4,000 years ago. Like them gladiators or something. That's bad. So that's my opinion on anime. Thank you.